Fast. Ugh, I just bit my tongue. I don't know if we can go fast enough. I don't know. I don't know if we can go fast enough. But if we do go fast enough today, if we go fast enough, we get through it, not too many interruptions. You guys are listening, you're paying attention, you're taking notes. If we can do that, we can unpack a lot today. We can really unpack a lot in today's episode of Hashtag Rise and Grind. But if we, dilly-dally and we mess around too much, if we get distracted too much, if we don't, get right to it, if we just continue to kind of dibble-dabble and chit-chat and, all of those things like I'm doing right now, we're not going to get to all of it. Which might be okay. It might be too much. Today's show might be too much information for this time in the morning, too much motivation, education, inspiration, or it might just be the right amount. I don't know, but if we get right to it, we dive right in, we jump into the show, we don't waste time, I think we can cover a lot of ground today. How's that sound? Good morning and welcome to the number one morning show in America. I am your host, Glenn Lundy, husband to one, father to nine, author, speaker, and the founder of 800%.life. It's 5:30 a.m. and it's time to rise and grind. Hey, good morning. Good morning. Good morning. How are you, my friend? How are you, my friend? Dude, today is what day of the week? Thursday. That's right. Today is Thursday, February 26th, 2026. That's right. Today is February 26th, 2026. And what's crazy is today is the very first and the very last time it'll ever be Thursday, February 26th, 2026. So I want to make sure we make the absolute most, and I do mean the absolute most, of this absolutely incredible day. Now listen, I was saying at the very beginning of the show, if we dive right in, we can go a little bit ham today with all kinds of powerful information. So we're going to move it along at a pretty rapid clip. So stay with me today, lean in, and let's go. Now listen, the theme this week, what we've been doing on this show is a little bit different. If you don't know or you're new around here, my name's Glenn Lundy. I've been hosting this show since January of 2018. There's a method to my madness. I wake up at 3:50 in the morning, drink a big glass of water, write down my gratitude and goals, spend some time in prayer and meditation. Then I write the words good morning. Then I write the show. I write this show every day. Then I jump in the car, I drive to the studio, and I build the show using what we call B-roll and clips and images and so on and so forth, basically editing in real time. Then when I get done with all of that, building out the show, I deliver it live right here, 5:30 a.m. Eastern time. Now, today or this week, we've done something a little bit different because I had this thought. I had this wait a minute, we're all born, for the most part. If you think human, you think two arms, two legs, a brain, a heart. We all breathe oxygen. At the base root, we're all the same. Two arms, two legs, heart, heartbeat, brain, oxygen, right? But yet, there's trillions of outcomes. Same starting lines, completely different finish lines. From different levels of success, different levels of spiritual understanding, different levels of relational prowess, different levels of money, wealth, all of those things, right? Different levels of fitness, so on and so forth. So why is it all so different? So I was like, look, we have our beliefs as human beings of why this is all so different. We have books on why this is all so different. We have studies and research. We have videos and media. We have all these things about why it's so different. But I wanted to ask AI. I'm like, yo, AI, you're not a human, because we're all human. So as humans, we're going to see this through a human perspective. I want to know, as a non-human, What do you see, Mr. Non-Human or Mrs. Non-Human? What do you see as the patterns that are separating those that achieve super high levels of wisdom, experience, and understanding versus those that aren't? Or is there a difference? I don't know. I just want to hear it from the AI. And so the AI has been writing the shows this week, answering that particular question. And it started off at the beginning of the week. It said the biggest difference between those that reach and those that don't starts off with belief. They have a massive amount of belief in themselves. The second thing that it said is that they are disciplined when it comes to taking care of their bodies. They take care of their bodies, they work out, they exercise, so on and so forth. The third thing it said as part of the pattern is that they understand that they are not lone wolves. They are not alpha lions. They are relational and collaborational experts. They are absolute experts at building relationships, connecting with others, and taking what's possible for them to a massive level through relations with others, right? So that's what it's gotten to so far. Today, we're going to take it a little bit further. How far we take it depends on how fast you can dance. That's what it comes down to. There we go. I was like, where's the music? There we go. It comes down to how fast you can dance. Because if we can get through this little part right here, boom, 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 we can get right at it. All right? I got a lot of stuff for you today. So for those of you that know, those of you that don't know, this is the part of the show where I need you to hit that share button. If you don't normally share, today I need you to share. I need you to hit that share button because I believe if we can change the way people start their day, it'll make a massive impact on this planet. I truly believe that. And sometimes all it takes to change the way somebody starts their day is for you, yes, you, to hit that share button. This is also the part of the show where I want to say good morning to you, and I want you to say good morning to me. Whether you're watching this show live or on replay, you got to say what's up, especially for those of you on replay. If you don't say what's up, I don't know you stopped by. For those of you that are live, I can kind of see you popping in and so on and so forth, all right? But drop a comment right now, say what's up, and I will say what's up to you. All right, we're going to dive right in. Good morning to Miss Joan Goebel. Thank you so much for being here. Wes Storm is in the building. Miss Liza Myers-Borges. Good morning, Liza. Great to see you. Craig Becker is in the building. Kat Perez is in the building and sent me a nudge in my Morning 5 app at like 3 o'clock in the morning. I didn't get it, obviously, till a little bit later. But my goodness, she is up early and getting after it. Mike Larkin. What's up, Mike Larkin? Great to see you. Maria Romania Lind is in the building. And I'm assuming my friends over at Breakfast with Champions are in the building as well. Great to see you, those of you on Breakfast with Champions. I should also start saying, because we're starting to get more viewers over on YouTube. So if you're watching on YouTube, thank you so much for being here. I greatly appreciate it. Drop a comment. Let me know. And for those of you that are listening on the podcast, or you're listening on Spotify or CastBox or anywhere that podcast can be downloaded, thank you so much for tuning in. I greatly appreciate you as well. Tanya Colcahoon is in the building. Trisha Rue is in the building. Mary Kim Farkas, thank you so much for being here. Robin Price is in the building. Russell Hill, what's up, Russell Hill? Great to see you. Patricia Frudenberg is up in here this morning. Great to see you. Greg Becker, he's on like a 55-day Morning 5 streak. Way to go, Greg Becker. Congratulations to you, sir. Spencer Nicholson is in the building. Thanks for being here. Mike Rindine, great to see you. Mike, thanks for being here. Christina Howard, hey, what's up, Christina Howard? Michael Barrick is in the building. Luis Grafton Norris is in the building. Greg Sewell, what's up, Greg Sewell? Lois Bila, what's up, Lois? How are you? Thank you so much for being here. Is it Bila or Billa? Maybe it's Billa. I should probably not say Bila and assume. I'll ask you, you tell me. Pearline Jacoby, or I'm sorry. Let me slow down. From Italy, my friend in Italy, Paulina Jacoby is here from Italy. Thank you so much for being here, Paulina, in Italy. That is so inspiring to me to know that you guys listening in over there in Italy. Tony Schmidt is in the building. She just celebrated 10 years of sobriety yesterday. Congratulations, Tony Schmidt. Jody Tibbs is in the building. William Bush is in the building. My guy Young Johnson is up in here. Angela Hastings is up in here, and so many more. Thank you guys so much for being here with me today on hashtag Rise and Grind. I absolutely appreciate you to the highest level. Quick little note. We have a leadership event going on right here in my offices. This is a free event. It's something that we do for all of our 800% Club members, and I like inviting outside people as well. And Angela's my Harley dealer. It's great to see you, Angela. If you have any leaders, people that you lead, or you yourself are a leader, come join our leadership workshop. This is on March 16th and 17th, or 17th and 18th. It's one or the other. But go to 800%life/upcoming-events. 800%life/upcoming-events. And you can come join us right here in Lexington, Kentucky. 2-day leadership workshop. I will be teaching. My friend Sam Cox will be teaching. And my friend Evan Walters will be teaching. So if you're in the auto industry, send a sales manager or a finance manager, send your GSMs, you can send a GM if you want to. Anybody in a leadership position, send them our way. We're going to pour into them. If you're in any other industry, maybe you're a leader in real estate, maybe you're a leader in, maybe you run a McDonald's or a Chick-fil-A, I don't know, or you got people that are leaders in those particular environments, send them or come show up. It's free. 2-day workshop, Lexington, Kentucky. Speaking of free workshops, yesterday I had the opportunity to work with high school kids. We are doing a teen entrepreneur lab right here in our offices, and it's been so incredible. So yesterday was day 2 working with them, and they just asked the most incredible questions, and they're so intrigued and interested. We're talking about the word revenue, the word profit, the word expense, the word margin, the word cash flow. We're talking about these things, and these are brand new concepts to these kids, and it's so freaking cool to be able to pour into them, right? What a game changer it is when you can bring a new concept into the minds of a human being that makes a positive impact in their lives. And that's what we're doing here on today's show. So we're going to keep going. Hopefully there's some new concepts in here that are going to make an impact on you, just like we did with these kids yesterday. It was so amazing. We attended our first day with John Lee in person. Oh, nice. Yeah, he told me that there was some kind of mastermind going on up there. All right, check it out. Anyways, I asked AI from its perspective, what are the separators? Because we all have the same 2 arms, same 2 legs, same heartbeat, same brain, and we all breathe oxygen. We all started in the same place, but we all end at drastically different finish lines. So I asked AI what its thoughts were, and here's what it told me. Let's dive in. All right, let's just go over here real quick, and right here, ChatGPT. Obviously, we've got our chat. Boom, boom, boom. And morning show planning. This is it. This is going to be episode 1. All right. This might ruffle some feathers. Now, keep in mind, this is the AI script. I'm just reading it, all right? This might ruffle some feathers because you've been told something your entire lives that is simply not true. You've been told that if you work hard, you will be successful. No. Work hard at what? That's the real question, because there are people working 14 hours a day that are still broke. There are people working 14 hours a day that are still frustrated. There are people working 14 hours a day that are still invisible. 2 arms, 2 legs. They are sweating. They are grinding. They are exhausted, and yet they're not scaling. Why is that? Well, because effort is not the multiplier. Value is. Let's talk about leverage. There's a guy named Steve Jobs that during his lifetime brought massive value to the world. Most people know Steve Jobs as the founder of the iPhone. This is a guy that brought massive value to the world. He's made a massive shift in the world and got paid a whole lot of money in the world. But here's the thing. Steve Jobs didn't invent the phone. He didn't invent music players. He didn't invent computers. He just simply redefined the value of them. You see, Steve Jobs obsessed over design. He obsessed over the user experience. He obsessed over simplicity. And he asked, how do we make this 10 times better? And by asking that incredible, powerful question, the world paid. The world did not pay for his hours. They paid for his impact. Same arms, same legs, but a different focus. He didn't ask, how do I work more? He asked, how do I create something that people cannot ignore?
The thing I would say is, when you grow up, you tend to get told that the world is the way it is, and your life is just to live your life inside the world, try not to bash into the walls too much, try to have a nice family life, have fun, save a little money. But life, that's a very limited life. Life can be much broader once you discover one simple fact, and that is everything around you that you call life was made up by people that were no smarter than you. And you can change it. You can influence it. You can build your own things that other people can use. And the minute that you understand that you can poke life and actually something will, if you push in, something will pop out the other side, that you can change it, you can mold it. That's maybe the most important thing, is to shake off this erroneous notion that life is there and you're just going to live in it, versus embrace it, change it, improve it, make your mark upon it. I think that's very important. And however you learn that, once you learn it, you'll want to change life and make it better, because it's kind of messed up in a lot of ways. Once you learn that, you'll never be the same again.
Once you learn that, you'll never be the same again. Now let's go entrepreneurial to Sarah Blakely. So Sarah Blakely was selling fax machines door to door, nothing glamorous about it. One night, she cuts the feet off of her pantyhose before a party. And in doing so, she solves a problem. Sarah Blakely didn't start with capital. She started with a problem. And then she asked herself, how many women have this same frustration that I do? The answer to her question was millions. So she created value at scale, not through brute force, but through relevance. And in doing so, she became the youngest self-made female billionaire, not because she worked harder than everyone else, but because she solved a problem at scale. Same hardware, different value equation. Sarah Blakely invented Spanx.
Growing up, my father used to ask my brother and me what we had failed at the dinner table, which was so interesting, and he'd celebrate it, and he'd actually be disappointed if I didn't have something that I failed at that week. So I can remember saying, Dad, I tried out for this and I was horrible, and he would actually high-five me and say, congratulations, way to go. And what it did was just reframe my definition of failure. Failure for me became not trying versus the outcome. So many people don't take risks for fear of failure. They don't start the business, they don't go create the art they want to create, or they don't go try out to be in the play, or whatever it is, for the fear of failure. And once you redefine that for yourself and realize the failure is just not trying, then life opens up to you in many ways. And I would also, my dad would encourage me anytime something didn't go the way I expected it to, or Maybe I got embarrassed by a situation to write down where the hidden gifts were and what I got out of it. And I started realizing in everything there was some amazing nugget that I wouldn't have wanted to pass up. At Spanx, to encourage people to fail, I'm bringing up my failures in front of the team often. So I will stand up and I call them the oops of Spanx. Some of them are the oops throughout the history of Spanx. Some of them can be recent oops that I did, but I'm always openly talking about it. If you're gonna have a oops, part of the beauty of it is twofold. If there's a failure quote or an oops in your life, if you learn from it and if you can laugh about it, then it's all worth it.
If you can learn from it and you can laugh about it, then it's all worth it. Now, here's where some of you might get a little bit uncomfortable. Because the truth is, some of you are exhausted, but you're not valuable at scale. Some of you are really, really, really busy, but you are not strategic. You are working, but not compounding. And this is the truth. And this is one of the very first things that I taught the high school kids that we're doing the business class for. One of the very first things that I taught them. But here's the truth. Income follows the value you bring to the market. But I think what we don't talk about necessarily enough is how to really understand what value is. Because what's valuable to you is not necessarily what's valuable to anyone else. So value follows skill, relevance, and execution. And let me word that more like an equation. Value follows skill plus relevance plus execution. Right? You got to have all three. I can have a skill set, but if it's not relevant, it doesn't matter. Or I could have a skill set, but if I can't execute, it doesn't matter. If I have a skill set plus it's relevant, plus I can execute on it, now that's value. So let me ask you, or maybe you just need to ask yourself, are you building skills that the market rewards? Or are you repeating tasks that anyone else could do? You see, you have to understand in today's day and age, AI is accelerating everything. And if what you're doing right now can be automated, at some point in the future, it will be. And so the question should not be and should never have been, how do I work harder? The question should be, how do I become more valuable? How do I become more valuable? You see, you've got two arms, most of you, two legs, most of you, in the same 24 hours as everyone else. You have to make different decisions about which skills you're going to hone, which skills are relevant, which skills you can execute on that actually bring value to the marketplace. You see, here's what AI does when it analyzes wealth patterns. Here's what AI sees when analyzing wealth patterns. The highest earners create leverage. And they typically create leverage through one or more of four very specific things. They create leverage through technology that solves a problem that adds value to others, or they create leverage through systems and processes that solve problems that are valuable to others, or they create leverage through teams, their ability to assemble, pull together, and deliver a team asset, or they build leverage through intellectual property. Property that is ultimately owned by them, that solves a problem for somebody else, that is valuable, that is relevant. Those that reach the highest levels of financial success, and I'm clarifying that because there's different areas, right? 8 different pillars of life. But those that reach super high levels of financial success, they stop trading time and they start building assets. They stop chasing transactions and instead they build value engines. That's the separation. So listen, I want you to look around, man. Look around, look in the mirror, have the conversation, and start to identify what is one skill that increases your market value. And then you got to commit to mastering it. 3 years ago, all of this AI stuff started popping out, and I looked my team straight in the eye, and I told my team, I said, look, everything we do right now as a company that is ridiculously valuable. We've built a multi-million dollar company off of what we do. Everything that we do as a company, I told the team 3 years ago, I said, everything that we do as a company will be irrelevant in 7 to 10 years. It'll be irrelevant. When people have all access to all wisdom, to all knowledge, they're not going to pay us a ton of money for wisdom and knowledge. They're not. So we as an organization have been dialed in on mastering as best we can, at the speed that we can, this AI stuff and an understanding of the framework of it and an understanding of the psychology behind it and an understanding of how we can help other people solve problems, because if we master the skill and the understanding of AI, not everyone else will, and people will pay us for that mastery. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, you can't just get stuck on this is what I've built, or you can't just get stuck on this is what I do, or you can't just get stuck on this is what I've always done, or you can't get stuck on this is what has worked for me in the past, therefore it's going to work for me in the future. No, you have to be willing to look in the mirror and go, hey, what we're doing is no longer valuable at some point. It's no longer relevant at some point. And if we don't stay valuable, and if we don't stay relevant, and we don't execute every day at an incredible level, then we can't expect to scale. Friends, what AI is trying to teach us here, and obviously I'm going off on a little bit of a tangent, but what AI is trying to teach us here, and I just think it's so incredibly important that everybody freaking hear what I'm saying. Like, dude, you can't just go you can't just go stamp. Like, you can't just go stamp the envelope. You can't just bring it in, minimum effort. Okay, I'm just going to trade my 40 hours, bro. Like, it doesn't work like that. You got to bring value, man. To bring massive amounts of value. You have to stand out. You have to be unique. You have to be different. You got to be like Sarah Blakely and not afraid to make mistakes. You got to be like Steve Jobs and look at it and go, all right, how can we poke this thing and push something else different out the other side? When I started at the dealership, Dan Cummins Chevrolet and Buick in Paris, Kentucky, when I started there, I started as a salesperson and I saw all the systems and processes that they had in place. I wasn't the boss. I couldn't change any of it. I was a black kid in a small town filled with white folks. I had no power. I had no control. I had no influence. I had none of those things. But you know what I did have? The willingness and the desire to bring massive amounts of value, no matter what that meant. You want me to take out the trash? Is that valuable to you? I'll take out the trash. You want me to scrub the floor? Is that valuable? I'll scrub the floor. You want me to be the first name on the alarm so that when the alarm goes off at the dealership, they call my house before they call and bug you? If that's valuable to you, then I'll be that freaking guy. I don't care. Whatever's valuable to you, cool. I'm going to master it. I'll make sure that I'm relevant at it. I'll make sure that I can execute on it because I know you'll pay me at that point. I used to work with these vendor partners when I was a general manager of a dealership. I'd work with these vendor partners and I'd be paying them $5,000 a month, $7,000 a month, $10,000 a month, $15,000 a month, or whatever. And they'd come to me and they'd say, hey, Glenn, what do you want to do this month? And I'd say, what I want to do is find somebody who's going to bring value and tell me what to do. Dude, I'm paying you. Why are you asking me what I want to do? Who gives a damn what I want to do? If I'm writing you a check for $5,000, you need to tell me what to do. I'm paying you 10 grand a month. You better freaking have an idea of what I need to do. Otherwise, I don't freaking need you. I put you in a leadership position. Don't come ask me what to do. Stop it. Stop it, bro. So listen, you got to commit to mastering whatever it is, that skill that is going to be relevant. In order to bring value, it's skill plus relevance plus execution. You cannot dabble, you must master. Big outcomes do not come from bigger effort. Big outcomes come from bigger value. 2 arms, 2 legs, infinite outcomes. But the altitude, how high you go, it is determined by value. It is not determined by how hard you work. It is not determined by how many hours you put in. It is simply determined by the value you bring to the table. So go learn a skill set. Go build something valuable at scale. My name is Glenn, and I'm your friend, and I absolutely stinking love you. And I'll be back tomorrow morning at 5:30 a.m. We'll do this all over again right here on #RiseAndGrind. Have a great day.